Hello everyone, welcome to the Daily Current Affairs Analysis brought to you by Shankar IAS Academy, 18th November 2025. Before getting into the discussion, please make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you haven't, please do subscribe and also hit the bell icon to receive on-time updates from the Academy. Before moving to the topics for the discussion, we have an important announcement. It is regarding the pre-storming UPSC Prelims Test Series. The batch 3rd will be starting on 19th November 2025. Link for the registration is available on the website. Do register and crack the prelims in 2026. So coming to the topics for today's discussion, the first topic is about e-Jagriti. So we know that it is a digital platform launched by the Department of Consumer Affairs to ensure the consumer justice, and now we can see that it is a major success. And the next article is regarding the Rift Valley fever. So recently, certain African countries like Mauritania and Senegal, recorded an outbreak of the Rift Valley fever. And the next article is regarding ease of living and Comptroller and Auditor General. So we know that the November 16 is observed as the Audit Divas, and as a part of the Audit Divas, now the Office of the Comptroller and Auditor General has announced the priorities for the upcoming audits, and one of the priorities is studying the ease of living in the urban area. And the next article is regarding the MGNREGA workers deletion. So we can see that according to a recent study done by Liptech, within a span of 1 month, more than 27 lakh workers got deleted from the MGNREGA scheme. And finally, we'll be discussing some of the important prelims related topics in the Prelims Focus. If all set, let's begin the discussion with the first article. E-Jagriti revolutionizes consumer justice in 2025, delivering shifted redressal and outperforming 2024 benchmarks. The article is taken from Press Information Bureau. So we know that on 1st January 2025, the Government of India, that is exactly the Department of Consumer Affairs, launched the digital platform e-Jagriti to ensure the consumer justice. And it is a major success. Let us discuss more. So coming to the e-Jagriti. So it's a unified digital consumer grievance redressal platform launched by the Department of Consumer Affairs on 1st January 2025. Actually, this new platform is an integrated version of many older systems like OCMS, that is Online Consumer Mediation System. And the next is e-Dakil, it's an online consumer complaint filing portal. And the next is National Consumer Redressal Dispute Resolution Commission's CMS, that is Case Management System. And finally the Confinet. Confinet is actually, it is an ITC project launched to digitize the entire consumer justice system. So this new platform is an integrated version of all these older systems. And what is the purpose? The purpose is to make the consumer dispute filing paperless, contactless, faster and globally accessible. So you can see that as of November 2025, over 2,75,000 people registered on this platform. And out of this 2,75,000 people, 1,300 plus people are NRIs, that is non-resident Indians. And coming to the major features, the first major feature is the global accessibility. So like I mentioned, nearly 1,300 plus users are NRIs. And as of November 2025, nearly 466 cases are filed by the NRI people. So the NRIs can file the complaint from any country, and they don't have to come to India for the case purpose. They can virtually appear for the hearing. And the next major feature is the ease of use. So the procedure is very simple. Register using the OTP from your registered mobile number, make a profile, and finally file the complaint. So using the registration, using the OTP, we can simply register on this platform, and then we can upload the documents, creating a profile, and then after filing the complaint, we can track the status of the case in real time, and after that we can pay the service fee through the Bharat Ghosh or PayGov. And the next major feature is the inclusivity and accessibility. So it is using multiple languages. The platform is using multiple languages, which is useful for the people with from various language backgrounds. And the next major features are the AI chatbot assistants on this platform. And the next is voice to text converting facility, which will be useful for the old age population and also people with visually challenged people. And for the better privacy and security of the people, the platform is also using the end-to-end encrypted facility. So here only the sender and the receiver will be able to read the documents. So that means the service provider has no control over the data on the platform. So this is for better privacy and security of the people. And coming to the significance. So what is a major significance of this platform? It is showing a major step towards digitally empowered consumer justice. So you can see that as of November 2025, nearly 1,35,550 cases are filed through this platform. And out of this 1,30,550 cases, nearly 1,27,000 plus cases already got disposed. This is showing the efficiency of this technology-driven initiative. And simplifying and accelerating the redressal, the next major significance. So like I mentioned, the procedure is very simple: register, create a profile, and file the complaint. That's it. And the next major feature is breaking the geographical barrier. So like I mentioned, it is useful for the NRIs. They don't have to come to India for the case purpose. They can file the complaint on this platform, and they can virtually appear through this platform for the case. And you can see that as of November 2025, nearly 466 cases are filed by the NRI people, and the highest number of cases are filed from USA, that is nearly 146 cases. So these are the major significance, and also it is showing the government's step towards a technology driven and driven consumer justice and citizen centric governance. So these are the major significance of this e-Jagriti platform. And coming to the other initiatives in India, from the government to for the consumer justice. The first major initiative is the Consumer Protection Act. This act was originally brought in the year 1986, and later we amended in 2019, and through this amendment we established the Central Consumer Protection Authority, which is currently working under the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution. And to raise the awareness about the consumers' rights and their rights, we launched the campaign, that is Jago Grahak Jago. And finally, we have the Bureau of Indian Standards to ensure the quality of products produced in India. So these are the major initiatives that we have in India to ensure the consumer justice. And coming to the prelims practice question, the question is: consider the following statements. Statement 1: the e-Jagriti platform enables NRIs to file consumer complaints and attend hearing virtually without visiting India. Statement 2: the platform integrates all the systems like OCMS and e-Dakil into a single unified interface. Which of the above statements is or are correct? Option A, 1 only; option B, 2 only; option C, both 1 and 2; and option D, neither 1 nor 2. So the correct answer is option C, both 1 and 2. Both the statements are correct. The NRIs can file the complaint, and they don't have to come to India for the case purpose. And next, like I mentioned, this new digital platform is an integrated version of many older systems like OCMS, that is Online Consumer Mediation System, a mediating platform. And the next is e-Dakil. e-Dakil is an online complaint registering portal. So it is an integrated version of various older systems. So here both the statements are correct. So the correct answer is option C, both 1 and 2. With this, we will move to the next article. All you need to know about Rift Valley fever. The article is taken from The Hindu. So in the month of November, the World Health Organization confirmed an outbreak of Rift Valley fever in the countries of Mauritania and Senegal. And between the months of September and October, nearly 400 plus cases are recorded in the sub-Saharan region, including 42 deaths. So in this background, let us discuss more about this Rift Valley fever. So the Rift Valley fever is actually a viral zoonotic disease. What is meant by zoonotic disease? The disease that will be transmitted from animals to people. So it's a zoonotic disease caused by plebovirus, and it primarily affects the animals like sheep, goat, cattle, and camel. And so far, there is no records that proves there is a human-to-human transmission of this infection. And coming to the origin of this Rift Valley fever, it was first identified in the Rift Valley of Kenya in 1930s, and from there it spread across the sub-Saharan African region. And finally, in the year 1777, the first case was recorded. In the year 1977, the first case was recorded in the nation of Egypt. And after 23 years, that is in 2000, the first case outside the Africa was reported in the countries of Yemen and Saudi Arabia. And so far in India, there is no Rift Valley cases have ever reported, but you can see that because of the ongoing climate change, especially because of the unpredictable nature of temperature and rainfall, the nations including India are at the high risk of such diseases. And coming to the mode of transmission, the primary mode of transmission is through mosquito. So when the mosquito bites the infected animal, and later if it bites the healthy person, there is a possibility for the transmission of this infection. And the second mode of transmission is direct contact with the infected animal, particularly when a person, especially the farmers, when they when they comes in contact with the blood or the organs of the animals, or when the people consume the raw milk of the animal. In that case, there is a possibility for the spread of this infection. And like I mentioned, so far there is no record to prove that there is a human to human transmission of this infection. And coming to the symptoms will vary according to the severity of the disease. If it is a mild disease, more than 90% of the cases will be mild disease only. Here the symptoms will be similar to flu, like body pain, headache and fever, and usually within a span of 3 to 7 days the person will be fully recovered. And if the condition is severe, it can lead to a lot of other complications such as ocular disease. That means the eyes of the person, especially the iris, retina, all these areas will be affected, and the vision will be affected. And the meningoencephalitis means the damage or the infection when it happens, when the infection reaches the brain. So in this case the person may fall in there's a possibility that the person will go to coma, or the people will experience repeated seizures and all. And the next major symptom is hemorrhagic fever, and in this case the fatality rate is nearly 50. And coming to the One Health approach, so we know that since it is a zoonotic disease and it has a relation with the changes in the environment, we have to give equal importance to human, animal and environment to deal with such infection. And here comes the importance of the One Health approach. So here we have to focus on humans, animals and also the environment. And here we have, what are the measures that can be taken under this One Health approach? Detecting the unusual livestock abortions. It happens when there is an infection or any other health conditions in the livestock. And restricting the movements of the infected animal particularly. So you can see that this Rift Valley fever will be usually recorded during the time of winter. So what happens, when the winter comes, we have to restrict the movement of the animals, which will be helpful in preventing the transmission of this infection. And the next is the controlling the primary source of transmission, that is mosquito, and providing a PPE kit to the farmers, especially the gloves and masks, because they are considered as one of the primary agents of transmission, because they are only coming in direct contact with the animals. And avoiding the consumption of raw milk, because we can see that usually this infection will be recorded during the time of winter. So avoid consuming raw milk during the time of winter from the animals. And strict lab sample handling to identify which is very essential in identifying the infection. And generating community awareness on livestock symptoms. So we can see that the livestock will show certain symptoms like hesitation to eat. Sometimes they will be experiencing other health problems. So if we can understand the symptoms, then we can prevent the transmission at the root itself. So we have to generate awareness regarding the symptoms experienced by the livestock during the time of the Rift Valley fever. So coming to the prelims practice question, the question is, consider the following statement. Statement 1, Rift Valley fever spreads primarily through mosquito bites or contact with the infected animal fluids with no confirmed human to human transmission. Statement 2, India has reported multiple outbreaks of Rift Valley fever in the past decade. Which of the above statements is or are correct? Option A, 1 only, option B, 2 only, option C, both 1 and 2, and option D, neither 1 nor 2. So the first statement is correct because it's a zoonotic infection and it primarily spreads from animals to human, and the one of the sources is mosquito bite and another source is direct contact with the infected animal fluid. And so far there is no record to prove there is a human to human transmission. So the statement 1 is correct. While the statement 2, India has reported multiple outbreaks of Rift Valley fever. No, India did not. So far we do not have any record to to prove that there is an outbreak of Rift Valley fever in India. So the statement 2 is incorrect, while the statement 1 is correct. So the correct answer is option A, 1 only. With this, we will move to the next article. Ease of living, CAG to assess 101 major cities on infrastructure, environmental sustainability, local economic growth. The article is taken from Indian Express. So we know that every year the November 16, the day November 16 is observed as Audit Divas. Why? Because on this day only the first Auditor General assumed the office. Who was the first Auditor General of India? It was Sir Edward Drummond. He assumed the office on November 16 in the year 1860. So that is why we are observing the November 16 as Audit Divas. And after the independence, the first Auditor General was V. Narahari Rao, right? So this year, the Auditor General of India, as a part of the Audit Divas, the Auditor General, Comptroller and Auditor General of India, Mr. K. Sanjay Murthy, has announced certain plans regarding the upcoming audits. So what are the major focus of this upcoming audits? It is on ease of living, especially in the urban area, because we can see that by 2047, majority of the population, that is nearly half of the Indian population, will be living in the urban area. That is why we are focusing on the ease of living in the urban area. Next focus will be MSMEs and foundational literacy, And finally, the focus will be on the digital initiatives taken by the CAG, the office of CAG. So first we'll go through the announcements. So what are the announcements? So the first announcement is regarding the assessment of 101 major Indian cities. So like I mentioned, nearly half of the Indian population will be living in the urban area by 2047. So that is why we are focusing on urban areas ease of living condition. So the major focus areas will be urban infrastructure, environmental sustainability, and the local economic growth. So this is this is done to provide an actionable insight that can benefit nearly 40 plus crore urban residents in India. And the second focus of audit will be MSMEs, that is the ease of doing business in the MSME. So we can see that the MSME is crucial for employment generation as well as for the exports of India. So the major audit focus of audit will be paperless and faceless processes in the MSMEs, user-friendly interfaces that we are using in the development for the development of MSMEs, and efficient grievance redressal. And the next area of focus will be foundational literacy and numeracy. So here a pan-Indian audit will be conducted by the office of CAG, and the major focus will be learning outcome at the primary level and the successful implementation of the foundational literacy and numeracy under the NEP, that is National Education Program 2020, and Naibun Bharat Mission. So coming to the digital initiatives taken by the office of CAG. So the first initiative was the CAG Connect portal. So this portal will be connecting 10 lakh plus auditee entities with the office of CAG, and that will enable real-time interaction, traceability, and transparency of transactions between this entities and the office of CAG. And the next major initiative is the CAG LLM, that is large language model. So what is meant by large language model? It is an AI model. The best example is the common ChatGPT. ChatGPT is an example of large language model, and the CAG large language model is an indigenously developed AI model which will be helpful for the office of CAG to analyze decades of CAG audit data and to improve the inspection of 20,000 plus audit reports annually, and it will enhance the efficiency and analytical depth of the audits. And the audit divas. So audit divas, like I mentioned, it is observed on 16th November every year to mark the the day when the India's first Auditor General assumed the office in the year 1860, and the first Auditor General was Sir Edward Drummond. And this day marks or this day is celebrated to create awareness about the transparency, accountability, and good governance. And coming to the constitutional position, that is Comptroller and Auditor General of India, which is mentioned in the Article 148 of the Indian Constitution. So he is known as the guardian of the public purse. So we know that the judiciary, the Supreme Court, is known as the guardian of the Indian Constitution, and the Comptroller and Auditor General is known as the guardian of the public purse, and he is appointed by the President of India, and the tenure is usually 6 years or 65 years of age, whichever comes earlier. And he can audit the central and the state government's transactions, revenue and expenditure, and the the revenue of the public sector undertakings, and also the revenue of the autonomous body receiving government funds. And the report is submitted to the President of India. From there it will be reaching the Parliament, and in the case of the state government, the report will be submitted to the Governor of the state, and from there it will be reaching the state legislature. And coming to the ease of living index, which is released by the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. So this index measures the quality of life in the cities, and the key indicators used for the preparation of this index are quality of life, economic ability, and the sustainability in the cities. And the first index was released, the first ease of living index was released in the year 2018. And coming to the prelims practice question, the question is, which one of the following is the primary objective of CAG's newly announced audit on ease of living in 101 Indian cities? Option A, to rank cities based on foreign investment inflows. Option B, to assess citizen-centric indicators such as infrastructure, sustainability, and local economic growth. Option C, to evaluate tax collection efficiency of urban local bodies. And option D, to monitor the implementation of smart cities mission projects. So from our discussion, we can easily come to the answer, that is option B. With this, we will move to the next article. 27 lakh MGNREGA workers deleted between October 10 and November 14. The article is taken from The Hindu. So recently, the researchers from the LipTech found that in a span of 1 month, that is between October 10 and November 14, nearly 27 lakh workers under the MGNREGA got deleted. And they are saying that the introduction of the electronic know your customer can be a reason behind this mass deletion or the exclusion. So let us discuss more. So we know that the recent concern about the MGNREGA workers are going on in the news for the last 2 years at least. So what is the issue? So to understand the background, we have to travel back to 2023 January 1st. So we know that the MGNREGA, that is Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, which provides 100 days job to the rural population, was introduced in 2005 through the MGNREGA Act, right? And in 2023, that is on January 1st, 2023, the government brought National Mobile Monitoring System. So using this National Mobile Monitoring System, the team head or the site manager will be capturing the photo of the worker to make sure that they are present on the day of work. And in the same year, in 2023, the government introduced Aadhaar based payment system. So in this Aadhaar based payment system, the Aadhaar number will be used as a financial address to provide benefit to the workers. But what happened? In 2023, there were a lot of mismatches between the real-time data and the Aadhaar data, and that resulted into a deletion of many workers from the scheme. And if you take the trend, in the last 6 months, nearly 15 lakh workers got deleted from the scheme. And in a span of 1 month, nearly 27 lakh workers got deleted from the scheme. And if you take the recent addition rate, it is just 17 lakh. But the deletion, in a span of 1 month itself, the deletion is over 27 lakh. But in the recent time, the addition is only 17 lakh workers. So therefore, the net addition falls sharply. And if you take the the deletion rate itself, out of the total deleted workers, nearly 6 lakh workers are active workers. They are actively working on the field, but their name got deleted from the scheme. And what is the reason behind this the surge in the deletion? So according to the study done by the Liptech, they found that the introduction of the electronic know your customer can be reason behind the deletion of the workers. So what is mean by electronic know your customer in this context? So like I already mentioned, in 2023 the government introduced the National Mobile Monitoring System, and in the same year they made the Aadhaar based payment system mandatory, right? And there were a lot of mismatches between the Aadhaar data and the real time data that resulted into deletion of workers in 2023 and 24. And as a part of additional verification, now the government introduced the electronic know your customer. So here they will be taking the photo of the worker using the the National Mobile Monitoring System, and later this photo will be matched with the Aadhaar details. If there is any mismatch, the detail or the data of the worker will be automatically deleted from the scheme. So this is one of the major reasons. According to the study done by the Liptech, this could be a reason behind the mass deletion. And you can see that another major reason behind the surge in the deletion is nothing but the mandatory, the government made the Aadhaar based payment system mandatory since 2023. And there are other issues, for example, duplicate photos in many, in many data, that all the details will be women, but the photo will be men. So such issues are there. This can also lead to deletion of the workers. And later the Aadhaar based verification also led to a lot of mismatches and eventually the deletion of many workers. So these are the reasons behind the deletion of workers from the MGNREGA scheme. And coming to the government stand, what was the response from the government? Government is denying its the deletion and its correlation with the introduction of electronic know your customer. And according to the statement from the government, it is the claim, it is the deletion are a part of regular job card verification, which usually happens every 5 years. And what is the impact of this deletion on the rural livelihood? So we know that the act provides 100 days job to the rural population with a minimum decent wage. So what happens? There is a possibility for the exclusion of genuine workers, because we can see that out of total deleted workers, nearly 6 lakh workers are actively working on the field, but they got deleted. So the genuine workers can be affected. And the next major concern or the impact will be the mismatches between the Aadhaar details and the real-time data can lead to delay in wage and other benefits. And there is a high possibility that can affect the rural security, especially the vulnerable population. You can see that majority of the workers in the working under this scheme belongs to the socially and economically backward communities. So definitely the exclusion of the genuine workers will affect their the livelihood of the genuine workers. And coming to the significance of the MGNREGA. So these are the basics. So we know that it was enacted in 2005 to provide 100 days guaranteed wage employment to the rural population. Definitely it plays a key role in social security and the rural safety net, and it supports the marginalized groups and women, and it also contributes to the development of the rural economy, particularly boosting the rural consumption. And what can be done? So we are hearing the concern about this MGNREGA workers for the last 2 years. So how we can deal with this crisis? So first is we have to establish independent auditing of the deleted workers. So we can see that out of the total deleted workers, 6 lakh members are actively working on the field, but their details got deleted. So we have to do an independent audit of deletions. And the second, improving the grievance redressal mechanism to bring justice to the genuine workers who got deleted from the scheme, and reduce dependence on tech only verification. So since we are in a transition phase, we have to give importance to both online and offline mechanism for the verification. So if you are more relying on online or the technology, it can lead to a lot of issues like this. And the next is ensuring transparency in the national mobile monitoring system and the Aadhaar based payment system. So like like we mentioned, the when we match the real time data with the Aadhaar details, there is a possibility for deletion. So for that we have to give some time for to the workers to update, and at the same time we have to make initiatives to make the platforms more transparent and accountable to the workers, and to protect genuine workers from exclusion. So we have, for that also we have to give certain time to the workers to update their other details, because we can see that in many of the people, not just in rural area but also in urban area, the details may not be updated. So we have to give certain time. If you are going for a mass implementation in a faster implementation, then it will lead to exclusion of many workers and other issues. So for that we have to give some time, and then we have to go for a phase by phase implementation of these initiatives. That will be helpful. So these are the points that we can write as a way forward. So coming to the means practice question. The question is, technology enabled governance can improve efficiency but may also deepen exclusion. In the light of the recent large scale deletion of MGNREGA workers during the electronic KYC verification, critically examine the role of digital systems in right based welfare schemes like MGNREGA. So it's a 50 marks question, and you have to write around 250 words. Write the answer and post it in the comment section. We will review and we will reply for your answer. Now it's time to move to the next article. So coming to the prelims focus, the first topic is Article 32. So recently the Chief Justice of India, B.R. Gavai, highlighted Dr. B.R. Ambedkar's vision behind the Article 32 of the Indian Constitution. So we know that India got independence in the year 1947, and many other countries across the world got independence in late 1940s, 50s, and even in 60s. But you can see that many countries after getting independence fell into political chaos, civil war, and sometimes military dictatorship. But that is not the case of India. Even with that much diversity, even with a mass of illiterate people, India still remained stable, and it's still remaining stable for the last 75 plus years, thanks to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar's vision. So rights without remedies are meaningless. The first, vision of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So why he had to include the Article 32 of the Indian Constitution? So we know that the Article 32 of the Indian Constitution, right to constitutional remedies, that is included to protect the fundamental rights of the Indian people. So rights without remedies are meaningless. We need rights, but at the same time we need remedies to protect the rights. And that was included because the objective resolution moved by Mr. Nehru lacked the remedies. And the second vision of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar is regarding the socio-economic equality, because here also the objective resolution failed to address the socio-economic equality of the Indian citizens, and this later led to the shaping of DPSP under the Part 4 of the Indian Constitution. And we know that Indian Constitution is a living document. That means it is neither too rigid nor too flexible. So it is evolving according to the changes in the space and time through amendments, which is mentioned in the Article 368 of the Indian Constitution. And coming to the Article 32, so it is talking about the right to constitutional remedies. So here, if a person's fundamental rights got violated, he can move to the Supreme Court of India to seeking remedies, and the Supreme Court will issue the writs like habeas corpus, mandamus, prohibition, certiorari, and quo warranto to bring justice to that person. And coming to the next topic, exercise Garuda 25. So it is the 8th edition of the bilateral air exercise between India and the French Air and Space Force. And this year it was held in the Mont de Marsan in France. and the objective is enhancing the cooperation and boosting the capability of the Air Force of France and India. And the next topic is Global Energy Leaders Summit 2025. So recently the Minister of State for Power launched the logo and website of Global Energy Leaders Summit 2025, and the summit was held in Puri in Odisha, and it was organized by the government of Odisha in association with the Tony Blair Institute for Global Change. So what was the theme? The theme was Powering India, Sufficiency, Balance and Innovation. So through this through this summit, the objective was to drive peer-to-peer exchange among the state energy ministers and anchor strategic dialogues with the international counterparts. So this is reflecting the Prime Minister's vision on building 4 pillars for the nation's development, that is energy access, efficiency, sustainability and security. So coming to the prelims practice question, the question is under Article 32, if a citizen wants to challenge the constitutional validity of a newly enacted central law, which constitutional route is available to her? Option A, file a petition asking Supreme Court to issue mandamus to Parliament. Option B, file a petition requesting Supreme Court to review and strike down the law. Option C, seek a writ of prohibition against the central government. And option D, request the President to suspend the law under Article 123. So here we can see that Article 123 of the Indian Constitution is talking about the ordinance making power of the President. So this option D is incorrect. And seek a writ of prohibition against the central government. See, the writ of prohibition is usually issued by the Supreme Court against the lower judicial bodies and tribunals. It is not against the central government. So this option C is also incorrect. While option A, file a petition asking Supreme Court to issue mandamus to the Parliament, that is not possible. The mandamus cannot be issued against the Parliament. So here the first option is also incorrect. So the correct answer will be option B. File a petition requesting the Supreme Court to review and strike down the law. With this, we are coming to the conclusion for today's current affair analysis. If you like the video, hit the like button, give your feedbacks as comments and share this content with your friends. And before leaving this channel, don't forget to subscribe and also hit the bell icon to receive on-time updates from the Academy. Thank you for listening to us. Thank you for listening to me. Have a nice day.